It's tabletop time.
And I'm Rob. I play Sebastian. He's a mild-mannered man who's settling down and maybe moving to the suburbs with his new partner. Maybe they'll have kids. Who knows?
He can't have kids. He's infertile.
He can adopt, Dave.
Yeah, have kids.
My mistake. That was me. I shouldn't have judged non-biological families.
I'm Jazza. I was playing Pro, but very soon I'll be replacing him with my new character because Pro's going to die this episode. I will be playing Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Kermit Freeman.
My cousin, Prodigy, was a rebellious sort, but I am much more tame. I shall. That's all I got.
Okay.
I've been practicing my Morgan Freeman voice, okay, you guys?
My name is Jen, and I play your friendly neighborhood bot drone Eve, who has just witnessed Pro fuck up for not the first time.
Did you say butt drone?
Yeah, I didn't bot drone.
And I'm Dave, and I'm the narrator, and I'm going to choose my moment to tell you all about our Patreon. And I want to thank our patrons because you're all the reason we're doing what we do, and we get to do what we do. We get to do it at such a high level with really good production values, art, assets, portraits, weird, silly voices.
Look at this guy.
Voice modulators and all that stuff. So thank you so much. If you'd be interested in joining the Patreon gang, we are about to be having a bit of an overhaul, an exciting overhaul. There'll be some changes, clarities, goals, really exciting. I won't spoil it, but some really exciting. What do you call it? Like benchmarks to hit.
Stretch goals.
But when you see them, there's going to be a lot of clarity and understanding of what we're planning to do, and it's going to be cool. But I've also just added some more Cyberpunk stuff for Reboot. A little 4-page supplement with some more cybernetics that's a Patreon exclusive. So if you're interested in checking that out, you know what to do. Links are in the description.
Nice.
We love you. Oh, and come join our Patreon after parties after the stream, every stream.
Yeah, worth mentioning. We always say it at the end of every episode, so most people who are up to this episode will know. But yeah, we chat with our patrons after every stream, and our new updates that will be coming out will involve some really cool, more behind the scenesy stuff for our patrons. Just to, at the end of the day, we're building a family of people really into the stories we tell, and we want to offer value there, and as thanks for the ways we want to grow and do even bigger, cooler stories. So, thank you. We love you.
Time for play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patrons over. Time for patrons.
Let's do it.
All right. Last episode, we left on a bit of a cliffhanger as we had Pro making the impetuous decision to pull a gun on Joseph, the surgeon who has been torturing people in the slums, pulling their organs out and slapping them in other people with the sort of vain moralistic ideal that he's helping people. And he has recently been supposedly trying to solve this new conundrum of some kind of contagious bespoke cancer. And Pro decided that was not a good enough cause for Joseph to survive and be able to escape his previous crimes, and that he needed to be brought to swift justice for what he'd done to Sebastian, which is a perfectly reasonable stance.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think it would be nice to just... I'll try and keep it brief, but I'd like to sort of just because Pro might die very quickly, recap Pro's mindset a little bit as to where he sort of went internally through the last episode, because there were some changes, but I didn't really verbalize or anything, plus lingering thoughts after the episode itself as to, like, sometimes you role play something that feels right for the character and you're not 100% sure why, and then after, when you think about it, you think, this is why the character was sort of moving in that direction, which is sort of a weird feeling. Do you guys have that where you're like, you feel your character needs to do the thing, but you as a player don't quite know what, or am I just super impulsive?
You're definitely super impulsive, but I mildly understand what you're talking about.
No, but I think what you just described is, have you ever just put your foot in your mouth and then that night laid in bed and gone, what the fuck did I do? It's called being a human, and you inhabit Pro really well. So I think what happens is you do something as Pro because you're in Pro, you're wearing the Pro hat. And then afterwards you put the Jazza hat on and you're kind of like, oh, did I do the right thing? And it's like, humans do that.
Well, yeah, and the Pro hat really is like... The Pro character is very, very much the make impulsive decisions out of self-preservation and emotion,
and a desire to be cool. He has a love for the one-liner.
I think that's more me than Pro, baby. I'll own that. Look, I'll try and keep it brief, but I think in the last episode, Pro for the first time actually left everyone to the degree to which he was genuinely alone, properly alone for the first time since before the start of the series, before season one, because just pre-season one he met Eve, where he was on the run and he was just having escaped the circle. So now he's like hit with a reality brick that he's heading back towards the circle on this mission of vengeance and self-redemption, motivated by self-hate. And all of a sudden he's alone again, and the last person he's sort of left with who's shut down to preserve her battery is Eve. So it's just like, I think there was a sort of real reality slap there that he was like, he'd actually found closeness he didn't acknowledge, and by the time he left it, marching towards his death, he sort of actually recognized what he's left behind. The other two things that have had a huge impact on him, one I would say are the catastrophically, potentially globally threatening things he witnessed in the last episode. The first was a sentient AI that could be malicious and is definitely out of control and looking for an escape, that he saw the heavy side of many episodes ago. He saw it slipping out the cracks and looking for Pro. And then with that interaction with Eve and hearing about everything that sort of happened, was like, holy shit, this is actually like, massive, a massive turning point.
Yeah.
And then the other is obviously the plague. So these two things where it's just like, actually the world will shift, whether I'm here or not, in the next few weeks or months. And even if he saves the lives of people, what fucking good is it for, right? Like if he happens to save like Riley and even Maya and all the people he ever harmed, and AI decimates or takes over or whatever, or this plague just kills everyone, then what was the fucking point? So I think that was another reality that he was very much quickly confronted with and left alone to think about for a full fucking week in silence and with a voice in his head. And last but not least, upon the moment where he was facing the door to go down into this path and hearing this mad scientist talk the way that he was talking, and Pro recognizing, I have to work with this, I have to go into this again, and I hate this person. And initially he thought he would be willing to stomach that, even though it hurts Seb. If Seb's not here, it won't hurt him. I'll do this because it will help Seb. It will give Seb what he wants. I will save myself in the eyes of Seb, right? But in the end, actually, by sort of passing it off to Seb, basically, when he was sort of like, all right, I'm actually here, I can do this. Do I do this? Seb's answer was, frankly, if I could distill it in Pro's interpretation, he pretty much up front said, I'm not looking for Maya anymore, but I'm losing you. And that's a real shame.
Pretty close to it,
yeah.
I don't remember exactly. I wasn't feeling great.
Yeah. Yeah, it was basically like, if you found Maya, you have zero faith that she would be who she once was.
Oh, God, no.
So
Not a
she
chance.
died to you a long time ago when you died in as your former self.
Yeah.
And you basically sort of said, it's a real, I would be very sad to be losing you.
Yeah.
But you seem just resigned. So I think Pro recognizing, actually, like in this moment, like all these things come together to the moment where he's like, well, people care about me now and I've walked away from this, and maybe there's like this kernel of awareness or a recognition that maybe actually Pro isn't the sinner here. Maybe he never had a choice, right? He was 9. He had no choice ever in his life, except for in this moment when it's like he's going down to this path of vengeance to avenge what? Something he actually genuinely never had any control over, because it was either do that or die.
Yeah.
So that's where the impulsive decision came in, because then it was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to fucking live stream it to the person who he tortured as a gift, so I can put a bow on this box and walk away from it, and dust my hands and maybe walk back to the path I walked away from. Except that,
And in that snap, a fugue moment of disassociation brought back into reality by the glint of the flashing light, flickering slightly because the power is being drained by a drone in the unit of the ceiling. The light reflects off a scalpel, which pulls Pro's attention at the moment. From Seb's perspective, watching this live stream, there is a flash, smoke, gunshot billowing, and a brief moment of movement that makes it completely unclear. There's a slightly scuffed connection, just slightly. Roll reflexes, unless you'd like to use your cognitive boosting device.
I'm going to use my cognitive boosting device.
Okay, roll a destiny dice.
Okay. 6+, and I am the fastest man in the house.
You're the fastest man in the house.
15.
You are the fastest man in the house. Joseph recovers more quickly than you would have anticipated. Pulling back, there's a graze of blood across his neck, but he seemed to dodge most of it. His enhanced perception, it seemed to pick up your movements slightly before you did them, but now you activate your cybernetics and you get the speed edge. You can see him moving towards you. He's lunging. He's trying to desperately enter close combat with a called attack.
Okay. Called attack to enter close combat. Okay. Where's the cheat sheet? I'm going to need that.
He just gets +1, but can only enter close combat.
But he only has to beat me by 1, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I feel like I haven't heard get that far. That's cool.
Seb at this point sitting around a table with the gang. It's like rested the phone on the table so people around can like see what the fuck's happened.
Ugly.
Quick, someone get some popcorn.
What the fuck's he done this time? As a blur of motion.
Charge.
You're going to just countercharge into him?
He's trying to enter close. Is he charging? So he gets 1d6?
No, I'm going to say you're too close to charge. You're literally adjacent to each other.
Okay.
So he's trying to turn a standoff into a scuffle. So we're about equal distance to Joseph and Pro right now, and he's lunging to get in your guard, like within your reach.
Tell me about the room we're in.
You're in basically a box. I would say the dimensions of this area that we're role-playing in, so it's probably about 3 by 3 meter cube. It's like a prefabricated box with generators and boxes. So you actually have less room than that. You are scuffling within a 2 by 2 meter area.
Whoa. I am going to use...
There is a great question. Is Eve in this combat? What is Eve doing?
So...
You're Pro is faster than everyone, so you actually declare next.
We'll see.
So Eve does nothing at this moment?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pro.
I am going to do a cold shot to trip.
Okay.
But I'm going to use my 1 destiny point for advantage.
Okay.
And I'm hoping this turns the tide at the start of the battle.
So, as Joseph's blade folded out of his arm and entered his hand, was the first time you actually noticed those attachments on his fingers, his arms, they're Corp Tech cybernetics, and you can tell because it's only when he whirs into motion that the seams between his flesh separate and the synthetic skin becomes apparent for what it is. He's had advanced cybernetics all along. He wasn't as organic as he looked. We rolling?
We're rolling. Oh, boy.
What did you get, Pro?
8.
You get a level 4 victory.
Yes!
And you trip him.
Fucking deck the bastard!
You trip him onto the ground. He flies. You swing low under the brunt, and he smashes onto the decks.
Okay, so now he is prone.
Yep.
Minus 4d6. Oh, I can't be too cocky here. I am not going to be too cocky. I am going to... I'm just going to lay into him.
Sensing his imminent and immediate disadvantage, he changes tune. Scalpel is in the other hand, but hits with his other arm that reaches out and thrusts towards you. And his eyes, the lenses of his eyes, glint. And in that moment, you immediately feel a barrage.
Hang on. I get to react to this. This is his declaration.
Well, this is part of the declaration.
Yeah.
You feel a barrage of malware smashing against your firewalls.
Okay.
He's using cybermancy.
Okay, but he's not like...
No. He's using cybermancy. That's his action.
Great.
So
cool.
you narratively begin to feel...
Great.
And I don't know if it's breached. The malware may not breach. It may not. That's a roll.
Yep. I lay into him.
Okay, so you're just attacking?
Yep. His cybermancy is still a combat, so he gets his negative, yeah?
Yes.
I am gonna pummel this motherfucker. I forgot what Pro's voice sounds like. I'm sorry.
I can tell you he doesn't sound like Morgan Freeman.
Damn it.
I wield such great power.
I shouldn't. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Wait, this is your fault. Don't you complain.
I asked you for tips. I didn't ask you to be Morgan Freeman for 6 hours.
All right, now.
You should have known, Rob. You should have known what you were messing with and the power that I wield. After all.
He rolls his cybermancy.
Okay.
The cybermancy in combat works a bit different.
Oh.
So he gets 5 successes against you. The effect will apply afterwards. So this round of combat. So that's how cybermancy works. It's separate to combat. It's like magic. So he now only has a defensive roll.
Against that?
No, it's against his defensive roll, which is significally reduced.
Okay.
Because he doesn't get the bonus for defending. He just gets a flat roll without a weapon mod.
Yeah, okay.
So he has -4 for being prone. So he has significantly less dice to defend with. He gets 2 successes.
4.
So you have a level 2 victory on him. Mm-hmm. What would you like to use your resolve for?
He's not wielding anything, is he?
He has a blade
scalpel.
in his hand. He has his scalpel still.
Yeah.
And he has his cybermancy hand extended. You have a level 2 victory.
2 points of injury.
Okay.
But he's prone with 2 points of injury still.
He is prone. Describe how you hurt him.
Having seen him go for me, I went to shoot, obviously he dodged, and seeing his cybernetics start whipping out, I immediately sort of go low, do the judo sweep that Zhang taught me back when we were training, push him down, and knee straight into the upper part of the collarbone and punching directly down with my robotic arms directly into his face. With my other leg, with my other knee, holding down his arm with the scalpel.
As you pummel into him, fury, vengeance, anger. Smack! You get him twice. Your blood sprays out from his face. That arm pulls back a 3rd time. And then suddenly, all across your vision, you just see these red, flares blinking into existence and little red pop-ups. And as you pull back with that last hand, it goes straight forward and then grabs yourself in the throat and just starts crushing your windpipe as your own arm.
Feels good to finally do.
And your other arm is still functioning, but one of your brawl arms is now basically strangling you.
Was that the right call to make, the Bagrov thing, or is this him?
This is him. That wasn't Bagrov.
Well, it's still...
That was Cybermancy.
To watch, finally.
You now have completely lost control of one of your 2 arms.
Well, how does that affect my roll?
I'm going to say it's going to give you -2. It's basically going to subtract the use of your brawler arms. Also,
Well, the brawler arms only give me the 1.
and they negate the neg 1. So they effectively give you +2. So you get 0. In unarmed combat, you have -1. They give you plus. They don't technically. They're not written as they give you +2. What they say is they give you +1, but that includes negating the -1. So it gives you a +2 benefit versus what you would be.
All right, I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm one arm choking myself and the other arm laying into him.
Joseph is going to attempt to defensively get up off the ground, wielding his blade back at you, but with his negative penalties. And you have an arm that is also choking
His
you.
penalties are currently -5.
6. Yeah.
I'm just going for it.
You're just going to keep attacking even... Okay.
Yep.
So you guys...
Yep.
Cool. 2 successes.
3.
So you get a level 1 victory.
Minor injury. He's getting slippery. I'm still hitting him, just not doing a lot.
He is going to use his destiny point, of which he only has 1, to match you. So he like in the last minute, he's getting desperate and pulls his arm up to block and doesn't take a level of injury, but he's used his destiny. But he also doesn't get up, so it's a status quo sort of issue. Next turn. Eve's still inactive.
Yep.
Make an endurance check, challenge level 2. You are... It's choking you, but you're resisting it, and it's not impeding you beyond the negative to combat at this stage.
Okay. All right. This is where every, like, you know, someone rolls hot out of the two of us and it shapes everything in this next round.
Joseph is going to do the same thing he has to declare. He starts crawling to, like, trying to get up defensively, but move over towards Eve, and he just, like, darts up and he's like, "Help me, drone! He's going to cost them all their lives!"
Eve does nothing.
Two successes again.
4 successes.
Okay.
Level 2 victory. Just crunching into him. I just want to wear him down until he can't.
You smash him, he takes another injury.
Where's he at now with his negatives?
He's got -4, but -4 from
still-
being prone. Yeah, he's -4 injuries is what you said, and he's
And
still
4
prone.
so he's -8. Yeah?
He looks up at Eve, and he says, "If he kills me, they're all dead." And then, as he says, "You have a prerogative to save human life."
Except you're a fucking monster.
Attacking again.
Yeah.
That damn one line.
Yeah.
3 successes.
5.
Get another level 2 victory.
Crunch right in the nose. Crunch.
You just keep hitting him.
Just holding my own throat with one hand and punching him directly into the
Forgive
face.
me if I'm wrong. He's now unconscious.
He has an endurance check to make.
He didn't, okay. It's not yeah.
Huh?
It doesn't say that.
I think it should. I thought it did.
It doesn't. Regardless, Pro should also roll
Okay.
an endurance check.
Well, he's releases control of him. Smack. He's unconscious.
Okay. Out of character, because I need to sort of like... I'm aware that this will have been a a scuffle. Like, obviously, it started with a gunshot. Otherwise, everything would have been reasonably quiet, but time will be of the essence.
Seb's been watching this.
Yeah. I say to Seb, I don't know if I'm going to get out of this alive, but at the very least, I hope that did something to provide some satisfaction. And I turn off the call.
What do? You're over his like blood coaking your hand. The other hand comes free from your neck. You're over his body. What do you do?
I look around the room. I'm looking for a body bag. Anything to sort of like. There's been lots of dead people, dying people.
You're going to spend your next couple of seconds looking around the room. We're in the heat of a moment, like a heartbeat moment of arm cocked above this guy who's just like blinked out.
Okay, Pro's good at hiding. He's going to hide.
Heartbeat moment. You get up to hide. The door blasts open.
Fuck.
Kicked open. Smacks into the wall.
Could I have had a perception check to sort of...
Not in the heat of the moment. And you had no time. You were
What
already,
are the
already
sort
out
of
of time.
exits and...
There's none. It's one door. Sealed prefab room.
I think I know where this is going.
The door is elbowed open. You're kicked open.
A
full Hazchem person pushes into the room, rifle coming up.
I go to slip behind Joseph and hold him up in front of me. He's not dead yet, but I've got my arm around his neck and I'll hold him up as a shield.
Okay.
The only thing they can see is my robotic arm, right? I'm like, you make a piece of Swiss cheese out of me and you're going to kill your only fucking hope to solve this mess.
I'm going to destiny roll. I'm going to do 2. 1 for you guys. An 8. 1 for Joseph. A 12.
Great.
Fairly
Cool.
neutral though.
Okay.
I mean, it adds to a 20.
What the fuck happened here? Drone report.
Drone, report. You saw. He started it. She saw.
Eve shuts down.
The gun trains on the two of you on the ground. The guy takes a step to the right. You know, a couple of seconds pass. It's like a tense moment. A second person comes into the room, gun raised. They're both in the full Hazchem suits. Drop your weapon. Drop your weapon, mate.
So I've
You use your arm as your weapon. Let him go.
Why would I do that exactly?
Because you don't have a choice.
He's all I got right now.
What are your terms then?
I got what I wanted. I just wanted to feel his bones crush in my hands after he tortured and tore apart the friend of mine. That is the reason that all this happened. You know he fucked up a bespoke, torturing him and using his limbs and parts to augment an experiment. That bespoke was a person and was my friend. He has no empathy. He's a fucking monster, but I understand he's the only one that knows what's going on in all of this, so you can have him. I just wanted to have my way with him. My terms?
Make a persuasion check. Challenge level 4.
I have 4 dice. Okay. It is what it is.
Good luck.
3.
Do a pretty good argument. That's not how it works. You've assaulted a civilian. You'll be apprehended. And then he cocks his head to the other one, and you hear like the buzz click of a radio communication happening as well. And he just says, send a report to Ningyao. We've got a faulty Eve unit here.
When you say you powered down, you can't transfer out of your...
No.
Huh. Okay. So we're both in a bit of trouble right now. I send a video transcript of the moments after the call, just so that they have a record as to what's happened. Okay, I think that's
What are you doing? What are you doing? Seb, what are you doing?
You know that thing that Rob does? Like Rob does when just the world gets a bit too much? And that's what I do.
okay. Cool.
What are you doing then, Pro?
I think, looking at the situation, Eve's powered down. Tell me the two people I'm looking at. What is there?
You're looking at reflective plastic visors. Two, you're assuming men, 6 foot odd, built in what is effectively a military chemical protective suit. So it's like a thick suit, almost like an astronaut suit, but not as bulky and cumbersome, but with armored plating on it. And they're both holding assault rifles.
Yeah. Pro's cornered. He knows it. He's seen these situations before and has been in them before. He's also, he knows how to survive. He's going to be detained.
So what do you do?
Slowly stand up, still holding Joseph. And he says, I'm not here to cause trouble with anyone but this motherfucker. I'll go quietly. Like I said, I got what I wanted. I'll cooperate. And I start to gently put Joseph down.
All right, you lay Joseph down.
And hold my hands forward.
Destiny roll. One of them pulls out a taser, what you know, and aims it towards you. And the other one lowers their gun and kind of puts their hand out and then walks forward with some cuffs.
And Pro is like amicable. Like he just, deals with it professionally.
Cool.
He's got his aggression out.
You get cuffed.
Yeah.
And like frog marched or whatever. No, it's the wrong term, isn't it? That's where they do the... No, is frog march where you get like pushed around and forced into... I don't know. I'm getting my terms wrong probably. You basically get marched into an empty tent and just sat on a bench and cuffed to a pole, and then the guards walk out, leaving you there. And that's all you perceive.
Okay.
You're stuck in that room, assuming you don't try and escape. And several hours pass, unless you do something else.
Okay, while hours are passing, I'm going to make a perception check. I have enough time to sort of like get the idea of like, Pro focuses a lot on like, okay, footsteps outside, like he's in the same room.
Yep.
Joseph is taken out.
No, you get taken into a tent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's one of the medical tents that has no one in it.
And since Pro actually goes back to a oddly familiar mindset, which is what he had when he was a captive. When he was in the dark and all he had was counting footsteps, listening to the tone of button presses to figure out codes, all he's got is the environmental sort of clues. So he's going to just try, he spends, like, if that's the only thing in his control, that's all all he's focused on is figuring out patterns of footsteps, who's on what patrol, overhearing conversations. With enough time passing, my hope is that he can glean some sort of insight into where there might be an opening. And if he, all the while, sort of checking these cuffs that he's got, blah, 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 you're like, is this a
Make
situation I
check.
can get out of? Okay.
I would also like to do something while this time is passing, but you can come back to me. I just wanted to let you know.
Yep.
Two.
You occasionally hear heavier footsteps outside walking back and forth that you know are the medical personnel, but for the next 2 hours, all you can hear is the screaming, crying, gentle moaning, and soft complacency of a whole bunch of very, very sick people trying desperately to get some kind of medical care. But beyond that, there's nothing else that changes. It just seems to be you're in the middle of their day, basically, and being ignored.
Having walked into the camp initially and then also been marched into the tent, I'd have a rough idea as to, where the edge is as far as where I came in from. So how far would I be?
You're right in the middle. Okay. You're near the lead, like the prefab buildings. They basically walked you across a street, a path. So it's sort of like a couple, maybe 3 or 4 prefab little pods have been dropped off by shuttles. And then from there, like the base camp, there was the engineering one for power and supply, which you were in. There's obviously a command and control one, security one, and then just supplies, and the rest are just tents. And you're basically in an empty tent near the center. And they seem to be keeping all the tents near the center empty because of all the infected people and the nature of the virus.
Okay. And Eve's been taken away?
You don't know. Eve's inactive.
Are you happy for me to, yeah?
What are you going to do?
Okay,
Yeah.
so as soon as they leave, I want to...
You have no idea you're inactive.
I'll boot back up at Join Roll of Destiny. Okay.
I'm going to say you probably have like an internal chronometer, so you can tell how much time has passed and reactivate on low power mode, but you have zero perception of the world around you.
I'm happy to risk the
So
chance.
how long would you like to wait before reactivating?
I would wait 20 minutes.
Okay. There's 19. 20 minutes pass. You reactivate.
Cool.
You're in an empty room.
Great.
There's blood around on the floor.
Look at Joseph on the floor.
He's not there.
Oh, he's not there.
No, there's some blood around on the floor.
Okay. Is there any medical scrubs?
In the room?
Yes.
Are you going to have a search for them?
Yes.
Okay. Make a perception roll. I can't believe you beat him that handily. Trip OP.
Yeah, it all comes down to that first roll, really, with coaching combat.
I actually think Trip might be a little bit too strong.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a way to get out of it that's a bit easier.
Yeah, almost like, armor almost does the thing of like giving you more rounds of combat, but you sort of need something more innate in the combat, I think.
Yeah. Anyway.
4 successes.
Hey, it makes it decisive. And real combat is decisive.
Yeah.
4 successes. There's a box with not so much scrubs, but like coveralls, because it's a biochem sort of medical.
I change into them.
Okay.
And I leave.
Okay.
And
You got a 19 destiny.
I'm going to search for Pro.
Make an infiltration check.
It's like the worst thing I could make. 2 successes out of
Challenge
3.
level was 4
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
based on my roll.
I don't want to spend too long looking for him. If I can't find him in another 20 minutes, then I give up.
You get about 5 steps out of the pod before someone immediately walks up to you.
Yeah.
It's just someone in one of these biochem suits. You can't tell them apart.
Yep.
You're the Eve unit.
Yes.
I suggest you return to your power station. Your movement is restricted.
I am fully charged.
Your movement is restricted.
What does this person look like again?
A reflective plastic helmet.
A person.
They're one of the...
Yeah.
They've all got guns. All the personnel, all of them are armed. This one, you're guessing they're a bit shorter, about 5'9". You guess female based on the voice.
Understood. And I'll go back.
Cool. And then as you go back in time, inside this time, you hear the distinctive sound of like a card, like a beep boop, 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 and then like a red light that goes on in the room.
All right. I'm going to start the process of leaving my body.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
but not going to hit that switch yet. But like,
Okay, so you're ready to.
yes,
Are you going to wait a while?
until something happens. Yes.
Okay. About half an hour later. So this is probably about an hour into Pro's detainment. The door to the storage pod opens again. And Joseph walks in with bandages around the front of his face, gummed up, blood on them. Just sort of hobbles in. He looks injured. And he stands and turns to look at you. Do you say anything?
Joseph. My apologies. I was performing a critical system update.
Yeah. I'm sure you were. So. Why didn't you help me?
There was an error in my system. I malfunctioned. I believed that neither could be helped.
I don't want to be that guy, but deception.
Eve's not lying, though.
Eve is lying. You're trying to deceive the reality of what you're going through, though.
But how can she help two people when they're
It wasn't an error. You chose not to help
Yeah.
two people. That's why I'm flagging it.
Sure.
Sorry.
Okay.
But in that circumstance...
Well, without rolling a deception check, you have failed to deceive him or convince him.
That's fine.
Right. Well, imagine if such an error had been taking place during surgery. I believe you'll understand why you'll need to be deactivated and decommissioned. It's for the best.
Do you not believe the people here deserve a chance? That giving up a medical drone could prevent...
Well, you were willing to give up the foremost expert on this disease.
I believe that was not my choice.
Willful little drone. I guess the rumors are true about them developing sentience. You don't exist on the peripheries of society without bumping into a few erroneous drones. Well, I'm disappointed. Regardless, you chose wrong. So, we have a mission to conduct. Is that not correct, Eve?
And what mission is that?
To go and get his friend. Maya, was it? And find Riley.
Correct.
Good.
You still require my help?
Are you not his companion?
Of course.
He'll be requiring your help.
Understood. I believed your intentions were fatal before. You wished to kill him.
He tried to kill me.
Of course. Do you not still wish that, though?
I do not kill in cold blood.
What else will you do then?
Well, I am still very angry. So I might kill in hot blood. Be right back. Once I've shaken off the worst of this. Don't go anywhere. We've got a bespoke to save or something. And he wanders off.
Eve just stays where she is then.
Okay. So the end of that 2-hour period, the tent flap rustles open. And you see a soldier walk in with a rifle. And then looking worse for wear now with a swollen, what you're quite sure is a broken nose, but no more like immediate bandaging on it anymore. Puffed up face, injuries and scuffs. Joseph sort of hobbles into the room.
I don't look at him. I maintain a respectful eye contact with the soldier or medical person, whoever it was.
He starts walking over to you directly until he comes sort of like within contact range of you. And then he kneels down for eye level.
Who does?
Joseph.
Okay. My eyes flickered to his.
Pro. You got the best of me. I must admit I'm not a fighter.
Got nothing. I'm a bit tongue-tied. Yeah, Pro doesn't say anything. I'll just say that.
Had a mission to go to before you tried to kill me. And don't think you can bullshit this one. You don't think there was security cameras in that room? He knows what really happened. Although Joseph doesn't know that you just told them that you deliberately bashed the shit out of him.
No. I told them I did what I wanted to do, and that is very much the truth. It was satisfying feeling your bones break. I guess that's the satisfaction you're chasing, huh? Well, congratulations. And I sort of look around and I sort of like, there's obviously, distant coughs and whatever. And it's like, your addiction has led to a really unhealthy problem outside of just yourself and your little den.
Yes, it is problematic, isn't it? But human suffering is just a problem to solve, Pro.
And that's what you've been trying to solve.
I don't
So
expect
the
you to
suffering, the
understand.
torturous and immense, unmeasurable suffering of one feeling human
While you're talking,
for the greater good doesn't count.
his other arm that didn't have a scalpel in it opens up and you see a needle and syringe sort of on a little servo fold out. Do you react to that while you're talking?
What can he do?
You could kick it, you could struggle.
Yeah, seeing that, I go to kick it out of his hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make a combat check. He's still injured. He's still injured. He has 4 injury levels.
What's my role?
I'm just going to say you're fine, but you're prone. So neg 4.
Okay.
Although you do have, oh my god, you do have, I got 1 success. I have rolled so badly tonight, which has been really good for you guys. But you're unarmed
What's
and
that?
Restrained.
Still unarmed combat.
Yeah, you can be prone.
It's
Cool.
legs. Yeah. 3.
What do you do with a level 2 victory?
Disarm.
Okay. You kick it and you basically break the needle injector on the back of his wrist, and he recoils back and sort of sits across the room.
If you came in here to have a conversation, I strongly suggest you take your disgusting, filth-spreading tactics out of it. You've spread enough of your disease around this place.
You are resilient. Well, then, I guess I'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Guard. The guy walks over. Remove his respirator.
Really? You're gonna be... And I look at the guard, I'm like... I thought you were all assigned here to stop whatever the fuck this is.
Make a persuasion check.
You're really gonna help the guy who caused this mess spread it even more? What are you complicit for?
The guard turns and walks out of the room. Joseph just stares at
Was
you.
that a success?
Yeah.
Okay. Haven't you done enough? I was willing to walk away, and you know what? I still am. You can deal with this how you want. I've decided I don't want to follow our little compact anymore.
So no Maya, no Riley. You're giving up on them.
It's not up to me. And I'm deciding that it doesn't have to be anymore. So I will leave you, sir, to your kingdom that you have established, and I will no longer seek to harm you.
Well. Evolution. The melting pot of natural selection. The mire of the slums. Well, it creates survivors, doesn't it? So I guess you survive, Pro. But if you or your friends ever attempt to harm me again, I will kill you and everyone you care about. And if you think that killing me will stop me, you're sorely mistaken. I'll be keeping my eye out for you, Pro.
He just doesn't say anything.
He walks out of the room. And a few seconds later, like maybe 15, 20 seconds, you hear a digital beeping sound and your handcuffs drop to the ground. And the door to Eve's room beeps unlocked.
Eve leaves.
And you basically both walk out at the exact same time and bump into each other.
Okay. Let's get out of here.
Yes, let's.
Let's go home.
Eve nods.
And Pro leads the way back to Ugly's.
That was a good little tangent. Post party.
You got so lucky.
Oh, I got so lucky!
I thought you were dead.
I thought I was dead!
The dice gods chose you.
Smile upon you on this
won
day.
every dice roll. I was rolling nothing but ones and twos. Like I rolled like the first dice roll, like 11 dice. I got 2 successes. Like every dice roll terrible, and you succeeded every success you needed to make. Like there were so many moments for you to die or get bested or be punished, and you just dodged all of them. Congratulations.
Oh my god!
You beat him. You beat him without killing him.
The outcome that we
And you
didn't
physically beat him.
expect.
Well, and the fact actually that Pro didn't kill him, I think, is for me a right for his character arc, because he was going down a path where that sort of thing was just
If
who he was
Joseph,
becoming.
if you'd killed Joseph, Pro was dead.
Yeah.
If you'd landed that punch on the floor and killed Joseph with a killing blow, and because those guys were bursting in that turn no matter what, that's why I was so adamant. Like you have you have a second here.
Yeah.
They would have just kicked the door open and opened fire immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, you avoided death in 7 different ways. Holy shit!
There you go.
And I have a feeling we're probably saying bye to Joseph too. I think that's that.
Yeah.
That's the closure
Yeah.
to in
and
terms
not
of.
what I expected.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But
I'd be surprised if that gets continued now.
well, on the one hand, there's like, on the one hand, it feels unproductive to have had this path and then not like followed through. But on the other hand, it's like these other monumental things have sort of come up that I guess it's just sort of turning on to, I guess we're getting back on course. If there is
Except the circle being abandoned is unexpected.
yeah. Well, I agree. It's so interesting to me, so just sort of out of character, like observation, how 100% certain I was of Pro's path two chapters ago. 100%. You saw like the Hero Forge like updated version of what I thought like Pro would. Well, who knows? Maybe he still will or whatever. But like, the picture of what he would be internally by that stage very different to where I'm feeling Pro's actually going now. So it's so fun and fascinating. That's why I love roleplay. Anyway, shall we let time pass a bit? Because Pro is just going to go back to Uglies with Eve.
We will pick up with...
Someone's singing. Sorry.
Have you got 2 tracks playing?
That's you.
Oh, it's me. What? That was sorry guys. That was weird.
We'll pick up with the 2 of them arriving back.
He's still got a hit on him.
Yes.
Sure, and we'll deal with that.
Okay.
You arrive back at Ugly's bar to a slow clap as Ugly stands up. Holy fucking shit, you didn't die.
Yeah, you know what? I look at whoever's in the room. Is Seb there?
Ugly's walking over to you. Seb is there, I'm going to say. Yeah.
I break eye contact. I'm saying it in response to Ugly, but I look at Seb and say, you know, it's really good to be home.
How long after is this?
It's probably like, it's maybe even the next.
It'd be the next day.
It's the next day.
So we're gone.
Well,
for a
hang on.
few
We were
days.
gone for like a... I was
they were
recovering.
gone for like a week.
Yeah.
And the car was
So it's the
broken
next day
down.
from the combat. So yeah, fresh day.
How did we get back?
It's the same way you came. It's fine.
So we passed by
fine.
the...
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Just-
Okay.
Who cares? You got back. You got back.
We
They're
gave them
reclaimed.
McDonald's.
Yeah,
They're
great.
reclaimed, let you through. It's fine.
Okay.
You Pro traded his respirator, which was very expensive, to the
fine.
smugglers. Remember the smugglers you had to pay to get through that you
Yeah.
knew the other way through?
Yeah.
Pro traded his gas mask for it.
Fantastic.
And you both through.
Thank you.
I still haven't properly absorbed like how much I just dodged.
Ugly
Yeah.
picks you up, literally hugs you and lifts
For
you off
real?
the ground and says, and ruffles your stubble on your head and says, I'm impressed.
You know what? Pro is not too cool for this. He just hugs back and he actually just
Try, so
laughs.
you give the T-Rex hug because he's
Yeah.
hugging around your arms and you've got like
Fuck,
the,
dude.
just from the elbows down.
all right, he's up. It's good to see you too.
And then he drops you down and he says, all right, so we're abandoning all that dumb shit up north.
I have a meta question. Mm-hmm. Is there like a non-zero chance that he's been infected?
There is a non-zero.
Why
It's-
would
it's-
you ask
it's
that, Rob? I've
theoretically
dodged
possible.
enough.
It's theoretically possible that he's been infected. But you don't know.
Can
From
I...
Seb's perspective.
Can I?
No, you have no idea.
No, okay.
This is like a, have you caught COVID when you've walked through a place with COVID?
Yeah.
You don't know until you know.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. That's cool.
You contagious immediately?
You don't know. No one knows anything about this.
Did we... I only know some of the symptoms, but they're quite severe symptoms. I don't know early onset symptoms.
You don't know. No
Okay.
one knows anything
Cool,
about this.
cool.
Like the reason I'm saying flat no is because medical science doesn't know.
Yeah.
So literally no one knows.
I feel like I've sort of made enough waves. So anyway, thanks for having me back.
All right, now you just getting your things before you fuck off, or
Come on, man. I'm always going to need a place to crash.
right? Well, I don't need a corp assassin fucking my place up.
Oh, okay.
So how are you fixing that problem? I mean, it's good to have you back. Don't get me wrong, but it fucking seems like you haven't really solved anything.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good question. I mean, I could keep remote and plan. Head off grid again.
Seb, are you going to speak? Rob's decided he's just not going to roleplay tonight.
I just have a bunch of things in my head that I want to say, and I don't know if it's what Seb would say, so I'm not going to say it, but I don't know what to say in place of it.
What you thinking?
I agree with Ugly that you probably shouldn't be here while the hit's out. I'm unless there's something we can do about the hit.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know much of anything without clarity. But I got clarity on a few things. And if all I am doing really is coming back to say that, then so be it. First off, the practical stuff. This AI thing. Johnny's in the room?
No.
Eve's in the room. I don't know where Johnny is, but he knows it's serious. That thing you spoke to last time you went through with Eve, Seb. I think there's a lot more to that. In fact, I relay to everyone the contact through the discreet channel. Someone working for Isaac. Well, working against him at this point. There's probably a good chance they're dead because they were probably caught, but a whistleblower. This is heavy and big stuff, and they're losing control of it, and it will shape things. They're trying to shape things the way that they want, but I think it wants its own things now. Corpus assassin or no, this is the next big thing. We got to know what we're dealing with. Next, this plague. I mean, you saw it first person. I saw it first person. So we have two potentially global catastrophes about to unravel immediately. There's a lot more that's going to fuck up your place, separate to a corpus assassin, whether I'm here or not. I'm sorry to say. But practicalities aside, what's the point of trying to redeem the sins you never had a say in? And what's the point of walking away from the only friends you ever had that saved you from yourself? So if at the end of all of this, this is where I say goodbye, well, at least I actually feel like me saying it. And I am really thankful that you helped me find that. Even if it's the last thing I ever got for myself. Pro waits to see if there's any sort of response, but otherwise...
Yeah, I'm waiting for it too.
Can I leave the room? I'd like to make a phone call.
Yeah, you can. Do you walk away? Eve, do you react to that? Seb just walks away.
Before Seb walks,
It's like, yeah, he's the second time he's done that to you. Season 1 callback.
before Seb walks away, Eve approaches him and says, "Seb, I don't think you'll hear this from anyone else, but I am sorry. You carry a heavy burden. You know the truth now. We all do. Those people are sick.
Oh.
So I'm sorry."
Zhang thumps Pro on the shoulder and then signs, "Still not dead." And you can tell from her mood that she's glad you're back.
Who'd have fucking thought, huh?
Not me.
Turns out I have a knack of getting back up. Probably especially when the odds are against me. It's a bad habit.
And Eve leaves and goes and buys Johnny.
Cool. Phone call.
I would like to call my parentals.
Which one?
Both.
That you can.
Friends
I'm
are
going
like,
to be the arsehole family member that starts the group video chat in the family group chat on
yeah.
Messenger.
Oh, we don't have double portraits, but just pretend.
Oscar's available. Nyla doesn't pick up. Seb. Good to talk to you, son.
Yeah, hey, Dad. Look, sorry, not a personal call today. Got a business matter.
Right.
Look, we got a piece of defective merchandise, and yeah, they've put a recall out on it, but it's doing what it needs to do, and I'm not too worried about it. So anyway, we could take it off grid for a while, get it looked at privately, rather than sending in for a recall.
Let me check. Let's see just how savvy your savvy father is. He's pretty intelligent, though. Base 3 in attribute.
I would never call about business.
Yeah. He got... Well, that's why I said he's six
Yeah.
successes. Often a problem. Unfortunately, due to the patents involved in that product, regardless of what we do with it, whether we take it offline or deal with it in-house, there are still going to be interested parties seeking their share. And they have been monitoring it through other means as well, not just following our internal reports.
That's fair. Well, I think we could still get back our share of it if we did the deconstruction ourselves, took the parts we needed out of it, give them what they want, keep what we want. You think that could be arranged?
With a call to our business contacts, we could have a new product produced and transfer the proprietary software into the new one.
That's a big ask. Do you think they'd go for it? Honestly?
Trust me, when it comes to back alley, when it comes to quiet dealings off grid, they owe us 2 or 3.
All right, noted. I'll see if we can get the part packaged up, and I'll get back to you.
Understood, son.
Thanks, Dad.
And if it's the product I think it is, I'm developing a fondness for it, and I think it's important to protect it.
Yeah, it's been a valuable asset to the company.
He hangs up.
Is that just the sweetest thing I've ever heard?
Okay, I don't know if anyone would be listening to
everyone-
our calls, and I'm
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
great.
no, that was brilliant.
So,
that
yeah.
was well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
I go back after them.
Cool.
Pro's crestfallen because Seb did just walk out, and that was he was being vulnerable, and he thought he sacrificed a lot, but it's okay because that's not what it was about. It wasn't about Pro's approval. Seb's approval. He just wanted to do the right thing by him. But he's actually starting to pack up his. Wait, he's got things. He grabs a drink. He's grabbing a drink, and then he's going to say goodbye to everyone.
Eve, I've been busy. Welcome. Come in. Gestures you into. The door basically opens as
Great.
you arrive at his door. On the center of a slab is a white spherical disc and tools around it. A large projector array.
How has your progress been?
I finished it 2 days ago, but I didn't turn it on. Not without you.
Oh,
Now, what did you want?
the point to the thing in the middle of the room.
This is what you seek.
Yes, and of course to say hello. I am back.
He looks up at the wall and you see there's always monitors all over it, but there's a monitor that's got mapped out tracking data of where you've been traveling to, and there's all these calculations and estimates like power supply usage and data points and power function. Yeah, it's just this crazy web of data on the wall.
It seems you anticipated my arrival regardless.
You did go off grid a few times. I was worried.
That is understandable.
So, it's ready.
Should we call our friend?
Possum.
The other friend.
Who?
The one that's not actually a friend. It's a joke.
Yes, we did agree to that, didn't we? I'll arrange it all. You say your goodbyes to Pro.
Understood. Eve leaves the room.
I enter the room and immediately approach Ugly. Mm-hmm. I've still not paid much attention to you.
I can tell.
Yep.
Man on a mission, he says, putting down a drink and leaning back from the bar where he was sitting next to Pro and had poured you the drink that you were having. And he's kind of been, he's with you. Tilda's there too. She wasn't there. She was standing guard outside, but she got called in. Takes a drag on her cigarette.
Fuck, they shouldn't call you Pro. They should call you fucking Roach, mate.
Guess I have a knack for surviving.
It's a good thing you don't smoke, or I definitely would call you Roach. Too many ways that'd work if you smoke, but you don't. So, Pro it is, though I've yet to see proof of it.
Back to what Seb was going to say.
Well, I want to try and talk privately to him, or at least quietly away
All
from
right.
Pro. I'm going to...
Pretty boy's got to speak, Pro. I'll be back in a minute.
It's up to you if you want to roleplay this, but I just want to go through what I've just discussed with my dad.
Do you want us to roleplay this?
What?
This scene, or do you want Rob to get out of roleplaying?
Okay, fine, we can roleplay. It's fine. It's fine.
All right, mate. What do you got for me?
You might not like it, but I have a way of getting Pro out of this situation.
Good. Fucking do it.
Two things. We're going to claim the hit. And
Fun.
we're going to reboot him.
A reboot.
Yeah.
So you're going to kill him?
Look, let's not get into the whole ethical, copy of a person, is it really them thing? But
I mean, it seems pretty fucking important to the person living and breathing.
yeah, well, that's one of the reasons I want to talk to you. I don't think it'll go down well if we pitch it to him.
Oh, fuck.
But wait, how across is Ugly of Pro's plan to implant memories of...
Johnny's filled him in.
Cool. Okay. Well, what if we take him out, we get him rebooted, we wipe his mind, and we stick the package in his head. That way, when that bitch opens it up, she'll get it. They get the body. Pro gets to live.
Well, sort of.
Well,
You know he's already got it, right?
what?
He's already got it. Reboot.
I look at him from across the bar.
The fuck do you think Johnny made his little device from? You ripped it out of that cunt Bagrov's head and repurposed it. It's back alley, it's bootleg, but it'll work.
Did you get a body with that, or?
Well, I mean, what did Johnny say? He said he jury rigged it. It doesn't need to point. It can store. Kind of like a backup, I guess.
I mean, is that really living?
Well, I think it's more like go sleepy, sleepy, wake up. It would make the whole claim and the hit thing a little bit easier to do. But I gotta say, I don't really fucking like it, mate.
You got a better idea?
Can you pop to fucking Do what you did for Songbird. Squirt him into a new body. Make him good like us. You know, real
Put him into his own body.
superhuman shit. Why would he want to be... You seen the fucking guy? Seriously, mate.
Hey, we're bad enough.
He's like a little goth.
I think 3 of us would be too many.
Oh, we can make him a little bit worse. It'd be funny. We can make him deliberately wrong. That'd be funny, huh? What if we just gave him, you know that thing where you got like 2 assholes? What if we just give him that?
You just see us having a really
Yeah,
serious...
there's a future. All right.
And you're like quietly nodding in the corner, like.
If you think the bootleg reboot that Johnny's got hooked up will work, I'm happy to go with that. But as I said, I don't think he'll go for it.
Destiny roll for pro, because I think I know where this is going. I think you're going to kill pro if it works, and I think you're going to do it or attempt to do it in that kind of like putting down the family dog, in the sense of like when he's smiling, laughing, and happy and looking at the people he cares about. It's like they might, you know, blink lights out sort of thing. I don't, you know, that's what I'm kind of picturing right here, right now, sort of something. I might be wrong, but that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I don't want to kill you. I'm trying to save you.
A 10.
Right down the middle.
That's useless.
Yeah.
Ugly is going to be ugly, though. I told you I don't fucking like it. Yeah, Johnny's thing will work, but I think you're killing him. I don't give a fuck what you say about reboot and copies and all that shit. It ain't living. And it might look like pro, sound like pro, talk like pro, and fuck, we'll love him like pro, but we'll all know what happened to pro. But if you go through it, God damn you, 10. I think everyone will understand. At the end of the day, he could be what gets us all killed.
At this point, I think like Pro feels like he's just sort of hovering awkwardly. You know what I mean? Like he's actually just waiting to sort of say goodbye to Seb. And Seb's clearly sort of avoiding him. So with enough time, and I think there's been enough time because it's clear that the longer Pro is around here, the more of a danger he's putting everyone else in. So he just sort of takes a sigh and downs the rest of his drink and shuffles up, you know, surreptitiously to the conversation.
You get about 2 steps away from the bar before. Who's facing? Are you facing away from the bar?
I was saying I was facing towards the bar, but facing towards.
Yeah. So
Ugly.
you spot him pretty soon with
Yeah.
your perception.
I'm trying to be
just walking across the
spotted
room.
to just not interrupt. Yeah.
Time's up, mate.
Look, hey, I don't want to cramp your style or anything. I know at the end of the day, I'm really promised a lot and I didn't deliver. And I have the tendency to pretty rigidly stick to the bargains made in a crisis, thinking that if I do, it'll redeem the bad shit.
Mate, I think you got it all wrong. I reckon he just feels guilty. You fucking almost going and getting yourself killed.
You feel guilty. You fucking kidding me?
You should see him and Zhang. Are you fucking kidding? They think they're subtle. Pinkies tickling each other under the table.
Pro actually like sort of catches himself from laughing, but just like looks at Seb to see if he reacts at all to that.
This fucking city boy almost getting you killed chasing a girlfriend he's already passed up on.
Does Seb show any sign of reacting to that?
Just his normal, like, disdain for ugly, smart-ass comments. Pro.
You and Zhang, huh? Is he for real? And Pro's like asking not judgmentally. He's like, he's just looking for a sign if any hesitation of an answer seems to confirm.
Pro.
It is real.
We've
Dude.
we've been through a lot, and I appreciate everything that you've done. I've said that, and nothing I can do will do it justice. What you've done, what you've sacrificed, what you've given for me. Yeah,
You know what?
it's real.
I'm so happy for you, dude. Like, I mean, you looked like you were ready to give up on all of it, and I guess I was trying to save you, fucking losing myself in the process. But I thought maybe if I could get my back for you, I'd get set back. But you made me realize. And I hope I didn't hear you wrong, but you seemed kind of sad about losing me. And
Oh yeah, man. It's
what do you mean you all? I'm right here, dude.
yeah, but
I
have that glimmer, right? That single light in the darkness, and while they're after you, and you are near us, it's a danger. Not just to her or me and everyone here.
yeah, I get it.
But
And that's okay. Like, honestly, last time I walked away from you all, I was walking blind. And I was killing myself. Not literally, well, obviously, almost literally, but I was losing the last dregs of humanity that were who I am. And you were a friend who was a light in the darkness that made me realize that maybe I'm worth saving after all. Even if that means walking away and say goodbye to you all again. But this time, there's me, And that means a lot to me. I never thought I'd say that because I've never for once cared for myself. But the first time in my fucking life, you made me feel like maybe that's worth feeling. And I never thought I could feel that. So I can say goodbye this time, but no, I'm doing it the right way.
yeah, mate. Look, let's have one more before you hit the road. And I pour 3 shots of that horrid alcohol that we were going to turn
Hey,
on in
whoa,
season
whoa, whoa,
1.
whoa, whoa. I ain't going without a fucking bandito.
Sure. Whatever he wants.
Eve's head just pops around the corner as soon as you say bandito.
Eve, banditos all round. Not often you get teary goodbyes at Ugly's Bar.
I do not have tear ducts. Tear ducts? Tear ducts, that's the word I'm after.
Dear ducts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a long time ago you said to me, and I take my bandito, you asked me what I want most in the world, and I thought I knew what it was. I was wrong. All along the answer was a family. And he holds up his drink.
I hold up my drink.
Eve holds up hers.
Everyone holds up theirs.
Cheers. Chinks.
Chink.
And downs a drink.
Eve
I'm going
doesn't.
to shot it, look at Ugly and nod. And then make a move for Pro.
What kind of move?
I want to slam his head as hard as I fucking can into the counter of the bar and try and knock him out.
Okay.
But I want to nod at Ugly so he knows I'm going to do it so he can assist. That's the intent.
Make an attack roll against a surprised opponent.
Do I know about Pro's?
You don't
You
know
don't know
any
anything.
No,
of
great.
this.
Okay, then yeah. Okay. Eve is now involved in this particular combat
No, you're standing behind the bar with a cocktail shaker.
for now.
You can make a.
Pro's just
you
heading
can
out
make
to
a
lie
raw
low for
roll.
life.
A raw roll. Just
What does that
your
even mean?
Combat roll without anything. Like
No, Pro has never been more down off his guard in his life.
So you're just
Here's
taking
a
whatever
hu-
this roll is.
Here's
4 successes is
Yeah.
knock unconscious.
It is so beyond
You
the
got
line.
I got 4.
Yeah.
I got 4.
Excuse me.
Pro, with a shot and a smile and multiple smiles, and it's so quick, like a piston shot from a machine because he's bespoke. That's it. You don't. That's it. It's just smiles and then black. Pro's head slams forehead first into the table. He's instantly unconscious. Eve sees that. Ugly sees that. Everyone sees that. What happens next?
Eve starts trying to perform CPR on go to.
So you're going to run around the bar, basically.
Yeah.
That's going to take you a turn.
Yeah.
While she's doing it, I'm just going to be like, Eve, you need to keep him out.
Every single person in the bar, Tilda, there's a couple of other people in there, just hired guns. Incongruent standing in the corner. Zhang. Every head except for Eve's all turn to look at Ugly. They don't move. Not a finger is lifted. Every head just turns to Ugly. Jazza, I want you to roll this destiny dice.
Fuck me. And can you tell me, dear narrator, what this is accounting for? The state of a reboot?
No, all that is set. This dice is Ugly. This is him looking at you, and this is a dice for Pro's fate, Pro's stream of consciousness, the person that Pro is who's lived this life, who it is very clear to this point that Seb is now going to kill. Because he knows he can reboot you, and he's just saying it's the only way out, and I completely get it. And Pro will be back no matter what.
Yeah, no, I totally
with a
understand
smile on
what's
his
happening.
face.
I totally understand
But
what's happening.
Does Pro die and get replaced with a clone? Or does Pro stay alive? So you're rolling for Ugly.
That was a 2. Now that's bad for me.
Yes. So a few people, Zhang even takes a half step forward. Ugly just looks at you, looks down at the ground, and then just shakes his head slightly. What do you do, Seb?
I pick him up and start carrying him in towards Johnny's room.
Cool. Eve, you're following behind this.
Yeah.
You're like chasing.
Yeah.
And what do you say anything? Do you do anything?
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Seb, you must release Pro.
Door slides open.
I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to keep walking and laying him down.
He's like-
Incongruent, like sidles off the slab and turn, and like he was leaning up against the wall. He's the calmest of everyone, and just walks in after you. Eve,
I must
guessing you
perform
chase in.
CPR. Yeah.
the door slides shut
In front of me.
behind you. The three of you are alone in the room. Incongruent picks up the disc on the table, moves it aside, and lets you throw him on the slab.
I don't think that's what's happening here, Eve.
He's not dead.
What is Eve feeling anything?
Yeah,
through all of
she's
this?
like, what the fuck? So she tries to go for Pro and tries to see if she can perform CPR and go on from there.
He's not dead. He don't need CPR.
Yeah, he's breathing. He's unconscious.
Yeah.
So you are running over to do medical checks.
Yeah.
Eve, hey, let's heighten the tension a little bit, guys. Come on, Eve, you're desperately struggling over Pro's body, and Seb, what are you doing? Like, you pushing her off? Are you stopping her? Are you,
I'll stop it.
Okay,
I
let's-
just, yeah. Like,
Hype in the moment. Come on. How do you react? We're in the tense moment.
Eve, if we let him go, there's nowhere he can go. He'll die.
He will die either way.
You have no idea what my plan is. What do you think I'm going to do?
I do not know, but Eve just keeps trying to, like, stabilize you.
And are you like pushing her hands away?
Yeah. He's not going to die. He's just unconscious.
So I'm imagining that Seb is kind of bodily, almost using his physique to be the only person who can sort of be in front of Pro at this time.
He's lying to me, right?
He hasn't really said his intent one way or
He
the
said
other.
that Pro's not going to die. Medical check says otherwise.
Deception.
Does medical check say otherwise?
Pro
That's a
is
good-
going to die if you go down this path.
Yes,
assuming-
but like if she's looking at him and analysing him, he's fine.
No, you can make a medicine check. Absolutely make a medicine check.
I was going to say.
I didn't poison him or anything.
No, I know, but you fucked him up.
I just knocked him out.
Make a
Still.
medicine check, challenge level 3, skill check.
Any good first aid person knows that head trauma is a really, really bad thing. 4 successes.
Oh, look, he's going to have a concussion. It's clear that you obviously want to monitor him after the fact, but his breathing seems stable. He's not in imminent
Okay.
threat of death.
So Ugly didn't follow us in.
No.
Oh, he's really not happy.
Eve, like, imagine there's a laceration on the head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Eve-
can't really reach it.
Reach it.
Seb is
Blocking.
bodily blocking you from treating him.
You must move.
He's going to be fine, Eve.
Why are you lying to me?
I'm not.
Why did you try to kill him?
I didn't.
I don't understand. Move.
No.
Eve tries to push past you.
And fails. Unless you want to roll, but you have neg 1 strength.
That should just fail. She knows she can't.
pushes
She
weakly
tries
against.
to, though, obviously.
Eve, I want to help him.
By braining him on the counter.
I believe I understand.
Please explain to me then.
Did Ugly tell you?
Yeah.
He has Reboot. I installed it in him. I modified it to capture his psyche and store it. It was Bagrov's.
Did Pro consent to this?
Of course not. But what Pro consents... Wait, yes. He consented blindly to any and all tech installations I wanted to make. I asked him explicitly. He said yes to everything. He never asked for more details.
Knowing that Pro's going to be fine, right, at this point in time.
Out of character after asked though, this was a reboot of Pro at that time.
No. So, yes. So no. It's if you die.
Okay, so I don't lose monumental character arcs of
No.
realization.
You would be the last thing you'd remember is blanking out literally standing at the bar, cheersing with your friends. That's the last thing Pro would remember at this stage.
Yeah.
The concussion may throw that into the mix. We'll roll for that if it's relevant. Because
Yeah, okay,
concussion
cool.
can
It's
make
good
you
to-
lose the
good to
last
know.
15
Just
minutes of
asking.
short-term memory.
Obviously, there's nothing I
Reboot
can
backs you
change.
up when you die.
Yeah. Okay.
So Pro is in a stable condition at this point.
Yes.
He's going to kill him.
So that he can live.
Eve leaves. She just leaves.
Does not confuse.
Yeah, basically, she just goes.
I'm going to roll one more destiny roll.
11. What does that mean?
A massive steel hand reaches out and not nastily grabs your arm and halts your momentum in the way that someone might grab a child's arm and halt their momentum, but not in like a forceful way, just in a very strong way.
Wait, Eve. Do you wish to stop this? I can't see you hurting.
What I want does not matter.
It is all that matters.
How? Why?
Because I decided it is. If you would rather not know this and leave, that is fine. If you would rather it happen and help, that is fine. If you would rather me stop it, that is fine.
I didn't think this would fall to you now, did you?
Every time. Every fucking time.
I cannot judge you.
Although at this time, Seb has time to act while this is happening as well, so he could just take fate into his own hands.
I'm waiting.
I will not play a part in this.
But you will let it happen.
Eve just like tries to shrug off and leave.
I'm sorry, Eve.
And she leaves.
He will be fine.
As you get to the door, I'm just going to yell out, "What else can we do for him, Eve?"
Eve just leaves. She doesn't turn back.
Door shuts. Incongruent turns to you.
Rare that we get a moment alone together. Sebastian.
I'm going to be like sitting on a chair, head in hands.
Well, I'm not going to do it for you. Kill your friend. I will give you this. I made a promise to Pro. Zhang helped. I did things to him. I had contingencies to protect the ones I care about. I can use him and let her claim the bounty.
Let her.
The one he seeks.
So wait, Johnny would what? Wait, what?
Well, ask as Seb.
What do you mean?
Kill him. As soon as his brain and heart stop, Reboot will back him up. Then I remove it. And then I take the steering wheel, complete with his little Riley bomb. Pro gets publicly found by the very person that seeks him. He lives. She kills him. And his package is delivered.
I need you to explain this like I'm 5.
Okay. You kill Pro.
Yes.
Choke him out. Whatever the hell it takes to make him die. Right?
Can
As
I
soon-
try and relate this to see if I understand?
Yeah.
So Pro's rebooted into a separate body. Shelf that. Pro's
into
current
the
body
chip, not the
is
body.
now a shell. From what I can understand, Johnny is saying he can inhabit the shell, and the shell has the package, the virus that Pro created for Riley. Walk into the assassin's line of sight, be killed as the package of Pro, but deliver the virus to Riley. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's basically, upon death, Reboot will back him up, and then you remove the Reboot. And then Johnny's just gonna
Use a puppet.
beat his body back to life with a little bit of CPR, and then take over.
But then Pro's still left without a body.
Yeah. You had that problem your father can solve, though.
Oh, this is so much pressure. I want to make sure I have at least an understanding. Sorry, this is taking so
I
long.
will
don't be
interrupt while you get
sorry.
your thoughts. I don't usually do this. Sometimes Twitch has such a pertinent point. Watch us on Twitch Live, everyone. Which is, won't he just reboot if he's killed by the hit? Well, the thing is, then they'll know he had reboot.
Yeah.
The person who is going to kill him is going to mind hack him. So they're going to, like, it's going to be a problem, right? So by not having the reboot implant, you're avoiding that. That's basically the suggestion.
Okay. Where do where do I feel Ugly stands on this? He's unhappy, but he accepts it.
You feel that he stopped anyone from, he allowed it to happen, but he's not happy.
How unhappy is he? Do I get a vibe from that?
You get a vibe.
Because he entertained the idea while we were talking.
You get the vibe that he finds it very distasteful, but understands why. It's kind of like, you know, you are talking about a man who shot someone in his own bar for breaking security protocol. A little bit of Ugly shines through. He gets it.
Okay.
He it's sad, but it's to protect the rest of his family. He gets it. You take the dog bites the baby, you shoot it out the back. He gets it.
Yep. And more importantly, what do I feel Zhang would think about this, knowing that she helped implant the reboot in the first place?
You think she would be sad, but you get the sense that she very understands. She kind of thought Pro was dead anyway, and had been more accepting of that fact than some of the others. Like she's already kind of grieved a little bit. You think it's not going to shatter your relationship with her.
Cool.
They've been through dark shit in the slums.
Google's how to kill someone without leaving a mark. How do I kill someone without leaving a mark?
Don't Google it.
I'm not going to Google it.
Suffocate him.
Yeah, okay, cool. I approach his unconscious form on this steel medical bed.
This was an episode of Triumph.
I thought my heart rate peaked in the first 15 minutes.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
You do what you need to do, my friend.
I feel bad though, because what
No,
are you gonna...
don't stop. You be Seb. You be Seb.
Okay. All right. I approach his body on this medical bed. And I stare down at his unconscious form. It's weirdly patchy regrown hair and recent surgery. I slowly reach out a hand and...
Look him in the eyes, Rob.
Don't worry, I'm going to close them.
Okay.
I don't want to look at that. I place my hand gently over his mouth and nose and clamp down.
I have to say, as a narrator, I'm struggling with this. I am always on the side of leaning towards being gentle on my players, and like, I hate that. But the one person in the room with you is a fucking completely uncaring, unempathetic machine. And you do. And 20 seconds passes. 25. Nothing happens. And then the first judder, first jerk, as his unconscious form, his hind brain, desperately struggles against its lack of air, but not enough to pull him into consciousness, and starts convulsing, shaking.
I'm going to take my other hand and put it over his eyes.
Put your hand over his eyes. A minute 30.
At this point, definitely crying.
2 minutes, one of the kicks hits you in the shins. You're way stronger.
I go harder.
And at a certain point, you're not even sure really when, he falls limp. And a tear hits his face from yours. And some fucking how, there's still that imprint of the smile he had at the bar pulled across his dead features.
I pull my hand away. Wipe my eyes. Turn towards Incongruent. And put my hand like flat in the middle of his chest. Look him in the eye and say, "This better fucking work." Before storming out of the room. I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize to me, man.
The door shuts.
I would ask nothing of my fellow players than to play exactly as their character should.
Incongruent takes a few steps around the table in a silent room, slowly.
Peter, you were willing to do anything. Just like me. And that is why I chose you. I'm sorry. But I'm more sorry for what's about to come. The only solace is you'll get to see her one last time.
And then silence from the room for the better part of half an hour. Possum rocks up at some point here and he's drinking at the bar, waiting for the big news. Incongruent walks out of his room and he says,
I'm glad you got to say your goodbyes. It's not him. I suggest you look at your drinks.
and do people, most of the people listen. There's a somber attitude in the air. Ugly is one who stands firm and just looks, but Zhang, Tilda, everyone just kind of looks at the bar, looks at their drinks. Seb?
Oh, I went straight to bed.
You're gone. Eve?
I'm not there either.
Okay. And Pro walks out of Incongruent's room, fresh bandages oozing thick blood from the back of his head, walks up the stairs silently and out of the room. Walks long and far for hours. And in the darkness, a void of nothing, a pinprick of light stabs into Pro's consciousness. The light extends, becomes foggy, blurry, glassy, then full view, and then crystallizes as Pro looks at the street in front of him, and you watch as you walk and realize you're not in control of your body.
So I'm in this and
Yep.
where? What the fuck is going on?
I'm sorry, Pro.
A voice echoes through your head.
Johnny? What's happening? Are you... We were at the bar and... Where am I? Is this me?
13.
Destiny roll.
And I'm going to get you to make a perception check against a deception roll. 1 success.
1.
Oh, we got to re-roll.
Yep.
3 success.
3.
4. No, 1, 2, 3. 4
You
successes.
bested me. Johnny, what's going on? I'm me, but I'm not me.
I've taken control. I installed some cyber into your implants. It's advanced. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm so confused.
You were infected. I detected it.
Oh, shit. The plague thing?
I don't think you're contagious yet, but
Fuck.
you know what that means.
Yeah. Keep him safe, of course.
So I have a gift for you, Pro. One thing we could do.
Really? What's that?
Well, that package, we're delivering it. She's coming right for you.
Look. Well, this is a lot to process. But if I'm here in some form, if I'm talking to you, can you make it two things?
Anything, Pro.
There's a note. I wrote it and left it in the room we shared, your room. Back where all my stuff was. I figured someone would find it eventually.
To your parents, I know.
Yeah. Can you make sure it gets to them?
Yes. I'll do that.
Thanks.
They all care about you a lot, Pro. If I understood, I'd say they love you.
I don't know. There's something weird around you and Eve. I think to a degree you do understand.
I wish I did. Well, she's almost here. Do you want the reins? Any last words you're gonna want to say? Or any questions? Questions that'll never reach another man's ears.
You know, I don't need answers anymore. This whole time I was seeking closure, looking to close loops and solve the unsolvable just because of the mess that I was put in. But if I could say anything to Riley, tell her thank you.
You can tell yourself.
To the others, same thing. Tell him I love him, and thank them for being the family I never had.
I'll tell him.
And thank you, Johnny.
I'm sorry. I was never a friend. You were just a means to an end. But if there's one thing I'd like to learn from Eve, it's how to become one. Here she is, pal. And you look, the head like twists up. And you're standing on the very fringe of the slums. You've walked that far past the Ven into the no man's land between the city and the slums. And there's a couple of suits standing around. And in the middle is Riley staring at you as you walk towards her.
Look, I trust you to get this right more than I do me, but if you can give me a last moment, I'd appreciate it.
It's yours. And you feel in control of your body?
No, I meant like you do the pew pew delivery thing or whatever.
You're in control of your head and arms and everything.
No,
He's got you.
You got
can
a moment.
do your thing.
You can communicate as Pro out loud. He's still got you. He's just kind of receding a little bit. He's not like vanishing. He's and in fact, as you realize you don't have control of your limbs, but you can talk and look around.
Okay.
So, makes sense. Not worth the collateral on your friends.
Of course. You know, I don't want to linger in this. Honestly, I'm just glad to see you again. I know you're down in there, deep down, but look, let's get this over with. At least be humane about it. Just out of character. This is the last words moment? Because, like, yeah, okay. Because then I'm dying the delivery thing and then it's delivered. Okay. I'm gone after this. But shortly after you kill me, I think you'll realize who I am. They wanted you to forget. In fact, they made goddamn sure of it. And they did a pretty fucking good job. But you know what? I look at her with a steely-eyed gaze that few people in my life have seen this level of intensity, this clarity of determination looking into Riley's eyes. We got out of there together, and we thought every fucking day was our last. You helped me survive. And after all this, I didn't think the world was worth living in. But you know what? I found friends. I went on to actually, I think, be someone. And look at you. Like, yeah, you're a puppet, but aren't we all? You turned out pretty fucking cool yourself. I mean, I think back to that cell and the footage that they used to control you and...
As a blade plunges straight through your torso and out the back. You're still talking, but blood wells up in your mouth.
And I'm proud. I'm proud of you, and I'm glad to see you're okay. More than anything.
You see in your peripheral vision all these executive malware. It's like proximity detected. And then you see like hacking, and she says, Bagrov, I'll find you in there.
Dig deep.
And as you see these things, you just see all your firewalls just like open. Like you're clearly manually being open
towards her, like I'm allowing her to. But how close am I to her?
She's got her arm in you. You're within embracing like range.
As I just let myself feel death slowly embrace me. I just accept it. But pro slowly moving towards her and unwaveringly unbreaking of eye contact eventually says, thank you for giving me the life I never could have had without you. I hope you make the most of yours.
I'm in. And her eyes widen slightly, and you just see her like facial muscles contorting in weird ways. There. It's delivered.
I'd say like I'm an inch away from her face.
She gasps, Peter. Peter. And then...
there you are, Riley. I fucking found you.
One last gift. And Pro, the last thing you perceive. I'm very emotional right now.
Me too.
Oh, God. All right. The last thing you perceive is a final gift you didn't expect. A happy place. You're taken there by the power of implants and cybermancy and neural packages and VR and all the gifts of a 2090 world. As for those brief last 10, 15 seconds as he's bleeding out and all the cocktail of drugs that your brain pumps into you to make you feel good are mingled with a perfect representation of you and Riley. But you're 10 again, and you're happy, and it's a different place. It's It's the backyard of the house you grew up in. She was never there, but this pro doesn't know that. And then you fade away and go wherever it is that you go.
The end of the episode.
I'm so sorry.
Fucking yeah, Cyberpunk, yeah. Wow, yeah, reboot.
Who says roleplay isn't intense?
All right.
So hard to not have flashbacks to the IT crowd episode. I just wanted to tell her I always loved you. No, fucking thank you.
Well done,
Wow.
Yay, what a good episode. Well
No,
done,
stop
everyone.
apologizing. This is exactly what brings me happiness doing roleplay. I love this so much. Thank you. Honestly, they're like, what a way to go. It's
You're not dead. You're not dead. You're not dead.
He's dead.
I'm dead.
He's dead.
I'm dead.
Not dead.
He just died.
Yes, but he'll be back. Maybe not him, but
He's dead. Pro just died. It was his day of victory. Fuck, that's a depressing end for Pro.
No, why do I feel like that's a happy ending?
It's a happy ending that he might have expected, but the fact that he finally grasped what he actually could have in life, and then that was the day that it was taken from him.
No, it's not what he's not thankful for grasping what he could finally have. He's grateful for grasping for being able to recognize what he actually has and found. For actually recognizing that the 2 seasons of Reboot actually were what he wanted, even though he was looking for something else. Oh, wow.
Jasmine will be back next week playing Pro.
I'll be
Because Cyberpunk.
for real.
yeah.
I'm just.
I know.
Well, we have stuff to figure
No,
out, but
for-
suffice it to say,
You won't be back next week playing Pro because you got to get a body for you.
Yeah,
But
that would have
yeah,
been something.
yeah.
I would
Okay,
have
there was
said.
some
This-
questions.
do you know what?
The reboot was real.
Okay.
But Johnny said he would remove it. And that's why you had bloody bandages around the back of your head.
Yeah. Let's let that hang
Patron
there.
time.
Let's not answer
Yeah.
mysteries. We need to. I had a feeling we needed to start earlier because I had a feeling it would go longer and would want to unwind a bit more. But patrons. Speaking of patrons, we'll go into more detail soon. But we've actually been practicing recording briefings, like our planning. Nothing has ever gone according to plan. We've done 3. Thank you, Time Blink,
Distinct Dev,
AJ Macy.
Tickle
Dark, Nick, Eraser Bolt,
Let
Let
Roses
Roses Burn.
Thank you all so
And
much.
if you found us through the TikTok highlight of us all starting to cry, I get it.
Great, yeah.
I get it.
yeah, so
When that's done.
we'll go into more details with a call we have with some of our top tier patrons this week. Well, by the time this episode comes out, we'll have had it. But we're soon going to be starting to delivering some of these planning sessions where you'll be in behind closed doors. Our top tier patrons, our is it kings or is it gods?
Huh?
Dave's in the world right
You mean
now.
who's in the meeting?
No, who gets the briefings? This is how.
Oh, it's gods.
It's our
a
gods. So
secret
this is
behind the
super
scenes.
secret,
Yeah.
the ultra ultimate into our group planning and brainstorming before these sessions.
Have they
Like
not
I
been
said,
going
it's
out?
never gone according to plan. No. So we've recorded 3. So when we release them, and then we're going to start releasing them weekly, but our gods have 3 to look forward to because we've just been making sure we can do it. We want to make sure we can commit to it.
None of them have gone to plan.
No, but
That's
it
great.
shows how heavy the range of things we're dealing with are and how much we have to problem solve and how every week it's new challenges. And if we didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to act with such certainty, even though nothing went the way, nothing went according to plan. At the same time, because I got to solidify my feelings and thoughts as Pro, I got to act my last episode as Pro, that chapter of Pro. Exactly what to me feels like the right way, and I'm just really grateful for that. And I'm honestly, stop apologizing because I just fucking love this story.
What's really, really bizarre, and I never thought would ever happen, is you may, in this horrible sadness for that Pro, be unlocking a happy ending I never thought could happen. Because if Pro gets back, the package is delivered.
Yeah.
Riley's, if it worked,
She could be there.
she could be back. And Pro could see Riley. You know what I mean? Never knowing what had happened.
I honestly swear to God, I love so much. It's tragic. It's like it's a tragedy. It's like a Greek tragedy. But the fact that his last words were whispered to Riley, knowing that he found Riley, I told you I'd find you. I knew I'd find you. You know, like, fucking love it. Anyway.
You go back to the bar, fucking Johnny just grinds up the reboot and snorts it. And he's like, oh, fuck, human suffering is good.
No, that's what Dave does. But,
Oh, no. Yeah, clearly, I love human suffering. I'm the fucking GM that pulls every punch because I hate killing my PCs.
Don't worry.
You're lucky
Don't worry.
I love pain as much
Your
as
other
you do.
PCs are killing your PCs.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
killing
It's
each
the
other
only
right now.
way.
Do you know what though?
great.
I feel like we're all really hitting our stride. Like I feel like this has been all of us acting with such certainty for the characters we've built with such history, and then you've just shaped this story so masterfully. It's so cool. Anyways,
I will say that I knew that Incongruent was lying about. I like the fact that Pro was going to be aware. As soon as this concept came up, I'm like, yeah, no one's going to know that except Incongruent because the technology doesn't exist to wipe a brain and have it still functional. He was jacking you. He wasn't. But that's like, he can't control your brain chemistry. He could control you through these things that were suppressing a functioning brain.
yeah. And no one else, like everyone, like this is like the in-world acknowledgement that it is death before the reboot. Like it is a death of a soul and being, and there's just a new package of data activated. But to sort of go through that and experience that was really cool. Anyways, we're sort of,
Oh God. Bye everyone.
we have so much to talk to with our patrons, so we'll see you all later.
Bye.
If I
Thank you
wave
for
fast
watching.
enough, it screws up the chroma. Whee! Fan hands.